Hello there. Welcome to another talk. Uh, and today's talk, podcast meditation, because all my talks are meditations. Today's talk is called The New Earth, excuse me, and the Law of One. I did try to do this talk yesterday, but it didn't happen. Something come up. Can't actually remember top of my head. But here it is now. And that's the New Earth and the Law of One is really what's happened on the planet. The Law of One is the law that, and seeing that all is you, all is one, all is you, and you don't recognize in any division, right? You're one consciousness. And that is the new energy that is the awakening, is the new earth. And this is what the elite, the 1%, whatever you want to call it, is trying to stop. That's ultimately what they're trying to stop. And but yeah, the old earth is the unconscious self, and the force that's trying to stop it is called Wetiku consciousness. That's what the Africans call it. And there's different names and different religions for it, but basically that's the force. And when it's having a tantrum, it manifests itself in physicality, like wars and destruction. That's when this force is having a tantrum, right? And if you look at the sheeple, them kind of individuals are disconnected from the heart chakra. I believe this consciousness's goal is to disconnect individuals from the heart chakra, or even confuse them, so they don't even know what they're thinking, what they're doing, what they're feeling. They're all over the shop. The awakening is about bringing that back, but Catholics say that, and Catholic priests say that demons die from love, and that they are fear itself, right? So basically, that's what we're seeing now. It's trying to put people in a state of panic, a state of fear, because it needs to feed off that fear. And it's making it more fearful. But basically, the new earth is about realizing that reality is a dream, is an illusion. And the new earth is about everyone realizing that they're all one. It's like what Deepak Chopra says, one nothing. That's what oneness means. It means you're the one infinite nothing. And that's how we're all the same infinity. Even the demons in the dream that seem real are actually God's demons. They're sent to you, but they're all you. They're just different expressions of the same thing. And so all that you see and everything going on, it's when you start to awaken. I had an unexpected spiritual awakening at the age of 24. But when I say I, there isn't a real I. There isn't a separate self. If there's any I, it's just absolutely non-existent. It doesn't even exist. So it's not even non-existent. It's but we're heading into that truth now, of realizing that everything is one infinite nothing. And this is why this force, it gets rid of people that can make a big difference. It got rid of Princess Diana, it got rid of John Lennon and others as well. famous people that were making a big difference. And but that's all part of the dream. You see, that's all part of the dream. But in this new earth, it's like it's a place where we'll know that all is just one infinite nothingness, and that your experience is your experience, but it's not actually who you are. You're not the characters in the dream / movie. You are all that is and ever can be. You think of nothingness, I mean, everything would be in with that nothingness, and it would have infinite potential. Our brains can't understand nothingness, and that's why you can't understand it with your mind, but you can go within the heart chakra, and that's what the Force is trying to stop. But it's all part of the movie / dream. The demons don't actually exist, nor do you. You're not separate. You're the same nothingness. An explanation of that is like when you fall asleep at night and there's nothing sometimes, and then you dream. Right? That's an example. But when you go deep into the nothing, there's not even a nothing, because what you think nothing is what your mind is made up that it is. But this new earth is a reality where we know what we are. We're not these separate races and religions and skin tones or whatever. Football, soccer teams, that it's all one. But we can enjoy the separation experiences, but it doesn't mean that's essentially who you are, you see? And it seems in the dream, it appears like they're trying to stop it, but no one's trying to stop anything, because no one has ever existed. It's like when you dream one dream, you wake up middle of the night, then you fall asleep and dream something completely different. It's all just dreams, because nothingness has ever existed. There's got a couple of meanings there, nothing existed, but it also means nothingness is like a substance in itself, and it's forever existing, and that substance is what you think you are. But you can be it's beyond what the mind can comprehend, though. That's why you mustn't try to understand it, because if you hear that noise, that's just my dog. But yeah, regarding this new earth, that's what it is. It's the understanding that all is one infinite nothing. As Deepak Chopra says, the one nothing is just, that's what oneness means. It means it's one nothing. And that's where the Akashic Records is. Yeah, that's where the Akashic Records is. It's within the nothingness. And that is where all information is stored. Because our minds work in a finite way, it can't understand infinite. It's a bit like a computer from 1998 trying to understand an Apple Mac laptop of today. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's beyond its understanding. But once you go through the awakening path, and I say process, and people say, oh, it's nothingness, it doesn't have a process, but the process is an experience. It's still an experience, right? And you have to go through the things in stages at the moment, because we're experiencing finite experience. A lot of people that talk about non-duality and nothingness, they just want to go straight into that. You can't go into that yet, because people won't understand. They're not aware enough yet. So you have to go through things based on the level that they're at. if a singer was had a backing band, you couldn't just go into the big Wembley theatre, the big Wembley arena. He would have to build himself up slowly, and that's kind of like with the awakening. But ultimately, the new earth is, well, Dolores Cannon used to speak about the new earth, and she said there'd be all these different. One of the things she said would be there would be a fruit with, but it would be custard inside of it. That's what she said. And that the volunteers, the 144,000, whatever you want to call it, chosen ones, are the volunteers. She said they began coming here in 1952, and they come from all different planets, according to Dolores Cannon. And what the thing she said is things that's kind of happening now. But the new earth, it will be a place where the law of one is at the forefront. Because the law of one, it's like what David Icke says about it. The law of one, he doesn't say law of one, but this love that he talks about in these anti-lockdown protests, he says there's an energy there that is like nothing else, and that energy is the new earth. That's the new earth being born now. And this is why we're seeing wars, we're seeing craziness, because the consciousness that's in the dream, I should say, is manifesting that. But as we evolve further and further, we're awakened to the fact that it's a dream. It's silence appearing as loudness. That's what it's like. I said to my, I'm my mum's registered carer, but she's in hospital, but she's coming back next week. Just had some complications. And I was saying to her that I'm the one family member that has always been alone. All through my life experience. And more than anyone else in the family. Now, all as a child, all the way through. Large periods of solitude. And I know why, because I had to go through this awakening. But like I was saying earlier about non-duality and nothingness, some people talk about this, but they go straight into it. And people that haven't went through an awakening yet, and some people that talk about non-duality make fun of the process. Oh, there's not a process. No, but these people that are just the beginning their awakening, in their experience, you can't just give them that information, because it would be like giving a modern day Apple Mac to 1997 Apple Mac, it's too much. So people sharing information, just try and base it on their experience where they're at right now. Even meditate on it if you have to. And that is what I talk about this as well. This is called spiritual maturity. That's when you know what to say and when to say it. If you say the wrong thing in the wrong frequency band that's going on, it's not going to work. You see? But regarding that consciousness in the dream, it's having a tantrum. But as we awaken further and further, we're realizing that it's all one, and that's what the law of one really is. It's about awakening to that. It's an awakening path, so everybody knows that they're one. A bit like the anti-lockdown protests. That's an example where everybody's oneness. A music concert is an example of oneness, an expression of oneness. That's what the law of one is. Where everybody knows they're one consciousness. You see? Twin flame situation is an expression of oneness as well. That just entered my mind just now. That's an expression of oneness again. Two people who know they're actually the same soul. That's another example. And that's part of the new earth. And that's what they're trying to prevent in the dream. But we're awakening from the dream. And I'm just going to leave it there. For latest updates, talks, news, research, and much, much more, please do check my website at www.lovelightfamily.com. Thank you.